Hello friends! Today I will talk about some fairly new products from VE Cosmetics. It's a UK based brand and I have tried a lot of this brand and I am such a big fan of them. I really love their products. In this video I will talk about some of their latest cream blushes, tinted lip products and also one palette. The palette is not new but it's still something I want to talk about because it's really pretty. So I will show you some cheek swatches of the cheek products, some lip swatches of the lip products and some arm swatches for all of the products that I'm talking about in this video. So first I will talk about the new magical multi-use tints that is supposed to be used on both the eyes, cheeks and lips. For me personally, I find that this formula works the best on the cheeks and lips because it has a little bit more silicone feeling to it and I don't really love that formula on my eyes, but I think it all goes down to a preference thing, I would say. It comes in 5 beautiful colors. It's a really nice shade range. It's from more muted tones to very bright and bold colors, and you will see that when I show you the swatches. Today I'm wearing a shade called The Answer on my cheeks and I really applied it lightly because I didn't want to have too much focus on my face because my eyes are already so bold. It's a really nice shade, I really enjoy it and I actually really enjoy all of the shades, I have to say. My personal favorite shade is called Grunge and it's such a suitable name because I'm all about the grungy life, you know. But this shade is more like a terracotta mixed with some warm toned browns, I would say. It's really hard to describe because it's so unique and I just love how it looks on the cheeks. It's so up my alley, I really love this shade and it's something I would wear for every day. Then we have 2 really bold and vibrant shades. One is a really dark red and the other one is a more pink, hot pink shade. Both are really stunning but you can definitely share them out and that's something I really enjoy with this formula, that you can both go very all in and get super intense effect or you can share them out by applying less and stipple them in with a brush. That's my preferred way to use them. I first apply them with the fingers on my cheeks and then I take a stipple brush and just brush it in to get a less intense effect. But when you see my cheek swatches, I have applied the blushes really intense just so you can see how they look because it's easier to tell the color that way. One thing that is really worth to note is that this formula works really well on top on foundation, which is something that I really appreciate because I do rarely wear blush without any base makeup. And sometimes I feel like cream blushes can be really hard to use when you use base makeup. But this formula is so good, it doesn't remove any foundation or base products underneath. And yeah, I can't stress enough how good this formula actually is. I think it has maybe some kind of a learning curve because of the silicone feeling, but as soon as you have figured out how much to apply and how to blend them into the skin, you will really like them. It has a more matte finish on the skin, which I appreciate. I like a more glowy blush sometimes too, but when it comes to cream blushes, I think that I prefer matte blushes. Next up is the lip tints. They come in 3 interesting colors, one red shade and one more vampy purple. I'm not sure what to call this shade, but it's the one I'm wearing on my lips today, and then a black. And I was super stoked when I saw that they had a black lip tint, so I was really excited to try it out. And I have to say that I had a little bit struggle when I used them, but after a while I realized that this is not a product or formula problem, it's a me problem. And my lips are a little bit weird in a way because they aren't even in color, and that's something I couldn't figure out until I saw a video on YouTube where a woman talked about how her lips had 2 different colors. This isn't the same case for me, but I realized that my upper lip has a very even color but not my lower lip. Therefore I had some kind of struggle to get those look even on my lips because my lips are uneven and it didn't look great. But I have actually found a way to use them, and that is to fill in my whole upper lip but then just do like a lip line on the lower lip to avoid this uneven craziness because it doesn't look that great. And then I like to apply a lip balm or lip oil that makes the lips look even more glossy and juicy. And I'm a little bit upset that I couldn't use them all over my lips, but it's not a product problem, it's my own fault for not having even lip color, which sounds crazy, but I'm glad that I could figure out what the problem was. It has honestly been taking me a while to figure out what I did wrong, because at first I thought that my lips was just too dry, but then the more I used them I realized that it's because my lips isn't even in color, and that leaves some kind of patches on the lips and it's just not a good look. But if you have a more even lip color than me, I think that you will love these, because I can tell on my upper lip where the pigmentation on my lips are more even that it looks really great. Another thing that I really like with those lip products is that I can use them without wiping them off, like almost a lip gloss. It looks quite cool that way as well. And I can also decide how much of a tint I want. For example, if I just apply it on my lips for a couple of seconds and then wipe it off, I will get a very natural result. But if I leave it on for a couple of minutes, it will of course get a more intense effect. But I realized that my lips looks better when I leave them on for just a couple of seconds, because when I let them sit for too long the pigmentation will look uneven on my lips. Another thing that I really love about those lip tints is that they are scented. They have really cool scents. For example, I think one has blackberry, another one has cherry, and the third one I'm not exactly sure what it's smelling like. I can't feel it, but I will write it on the screen if you are interested. And last but not least, I will talk about the palette called Resurance.VE Futile. Wow, I'm not sure if I could pronounce that well, I don't think I did, but anyway, the packaging is really sleek. It has a gold symbol on the packaging and it looks really neat. On the inside of the palette is the same symbol as on the outer packaging, and there is a mirror in the same symbol, which is really cool, a really neat detail, but maybe you won't be able to use the mirror that much. Anyhow, the layout is quite cool. It is a big black pan in the middle, and then you have 6 shades underneath and 6 shades above it. So it's a 13 pan palette. One of the shades is a water activated liner, which I find is really cool and unique. this color story is obviously very gothic, very dark and moody, and I was so impressed with my look before I started to apply liner on my eyes today, because the blend was so flawless, and that's the case with all of the matte formulas that I have tried from VE Cosmetics. I really adore their matte formula. It's definitely one of my favorite formulas because it basically blends themselves. They are buildable, it's easy to layer them, and it's just such a nice formula. So if it's something that VE Cosmetics really does well, it's their mattes. I highly recommend them. In this palette we have some shimmer shades. They are more on the satin foiled side, and I actually enjoy them, even though that most of you know that I'm really into those intense and sparkly shimmers, but I still can appreciate a satin shimmer from time to time, and especially in those tones, because it really suits the color story. If I have to say something negative about this palette, is that it contains 3 matte blacks, and they are in different tones, but I think that some people can find it a little bit redundant. I personally don't think so, because I understand what the vibe the brand is going for. It's really gothic, and you know, goths are wearing a lot of black, so I get it, even though that maybe I would replace one of the shades with maybe a darker red or something, or a darker purple, or I don't know, but it's nonetheless a very beautiful palette. I really enjoy it. It's super pigmented, and I don't have much negative to say about it. Yeah, I really recommend this palette if you are into the color story, and if you are not into this color story, I think that you should check in the brand's other palettes, because as I said, the formula is really spectacular, and I don't think that you will regret trying them out. And this was everything for this video. I hope that you did enjoy it, and see you soon. Consider to subscribe if you are into indie makeup, colorful makeup, or graphic liner looks. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye. On the it comes in five. My personal favorite makes me look really good. What is it called? Yeah, I don't know what they are called.